Welcome to Good Food. Here are my top 3 favorite soup recipes. At number 3 is tomato soup. Today's recipe is creamy tomato basil soup. All right, we're going to slice our Roma tomatoes in half. I use about 10 tomatoes. You can use other tomatoes if you like, but just choose ones on the smaller side. And then once we have these cut, we're going to place them on a baking tray. Please comment below and I'll respond to all your comments. Cut side up. And we're going to drizzle it with some olive oil. And then we're going to season it very well with some salt, and some pepper. And we're going to roast this in our oven set at 375 degrees for 1 hour. Once they're roasted, we'll set them aside and then we'll start on our soup. So in a large pot, we're going to melt our butter over medium-high heat. And then we'll add our onions. And we'll saute our onions for around 4 minutes, just until they caramelize and get translucent. Then we'll add our garlic, our thyme, pepper, and salt. And we'll saute that up for 1 minute. Then we're going to add our crushed tomatoes. And we're going to add some sugar. And this will cut the acid. And we're going to add our basil. And we're going to let this simmer for about 8 minutes. Then we're going to add some chicken stock. And our roasted tomatoes. And we're going to let this simmer for around 30 minutes, stirring occasionally. Then we're going to add our cream after 30 minutes. We'll stir that in. And then with an immersion blender, we're going to puree our soup. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can use a blender, but you'll probably have to do that in some batches and then just add it back to the pot. And once that's all pureed, we'll add a bit of basil for garnish. It's ready to eat. At number 2 is broccoli and cheddar soup. Today's recipe is broccoli bacon soup. Okay, we're going to saute some onions to start. So we'll just melt our butter and we'll add our chopped onion and we'll saute those until they're softened and set aside. Now we're going to melt some butter in a soup pot. And then we're going to add our flour, which will make the roux for our soup. And this is what will make the soup thick. So you're going to whisk this for a couple minutes just to get that flour cooked. Then slowly you're going to add your half and half cream. Now you want to do it slowly so that the cream or milk, if you're choosing to use milk, doesn't curdle. So slowly add in your half and half, whisking as you do this, and then add your chicken stock. Now if you want to make this more vegetarian, you can also add vegetable stock. Now we're going to let this simmer for around 15 minutes, and then we're going to add our chopped broccoli, our julienne carrots, and the onions that we had sauteed earlier. Stir this until it's all mixed together. And then we're going to let this simmer for another 20-25 minutes until the vegetables are softened. Now the smaller you cut the vegetables, the quicker it will cook. You can use frozen if you choose. It may cook a little quicker that way. Once this is simmered for 25 minutes, I'm going to add some bacon and some salt and pepper. And just add as much pepper and salt to your liking, just to taste. Stir this all together. And then I am going to use the emulsion blender and I'm going to puree the soup. Now if you don't have an emulsion blender, you can use a regular blender and you'll have to do this probably in batches. You can do this until it's completely creamy, or you can have chunks. Then I'm going to add some cheddar cheese and stir that in. You can add any kind of cheese that you wish to. I like to use the old cheddar, and then I just top it off with some more bacon and some more cheese. And their top favorite is baked potato soup. Today's recipe is baked potato soup. All right, over medium heat, we're going to add some butter to our soup pot. And we're going to melt this. Now when this is all melted, we're going to add our flour, which is going to create the roux of our soup. So we're going to stir this until it is all thickened and mixed together. It takes about 1 minute. Then we're going to add our milk a little bit at a time, whisking it as we are adding it. Getting rid of all the lumps. Making sure the flour is incorporated with our milk. And we're going to continue to whisk this until it has thickened. Then we're going to add our cooked potatoes, our salt, our pepper, stirring that all in. Add our green onions and our bacon bits. And we're going to heat this until it is completely heated through. We'll add our cheese. I use old cheddar cheese. We'll stir that in. And add more salt and pepper if you feel like you need to. Do a taste test. Then we're going to add our sour cream. And we're going to stir this and heat this through. When it's all done, you can serve this with some extra cheese and bacon and green onions on top. Enjoy! If you would like to see a specific recipe, please leave a comment below. Here are 2 more of my videos you may be interested in. Thanks for watching.